Hello, everyone. My name is Pam Cleary, and I am a master trainer with Real Impact Training. Roger Pascal, who's usually hosting, had cannot be with us tonight, so they asked me to step in. And so I would like to welcome all the newcomers, and for those out there that's on the call tonight, to give you a little short information about Impact Training. We are a training program that offers to improve the quality of people's lives through real estate investments. And we have multiple techniques out there. We offer videos, scripts, um, one-on-one training. We have multiple. So if you want to find out more about us, go to realimpacttraining.com. And with us tonight, we have several of our master trainers. We have Tony Jordu with Arlington and Waco, Tim Lockhart with Wichita Falls, Doug and Renee Toon with Longview, Eric Short, who is new to our group with Grand Prairie. We got our matriarch, Dennis Henson. And did I get everybody?
Stick with that, huh?
Oh, and we have Karen. I'm sorry, Karen.
I get a
We have our
wig.
moderator, Karen, who helps with us. So hopefully I did pretty good for our intro out there and everything. So here we go. Our topic tonight. Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to start off with a tip. Mr. Tony Jardu, would you like to give us one?
Sure, Pam. I appreciate it. As Pam said, pardon me?
I'm teasing you.
Okay. As Pam said, my name's Tony Jardu. My wife, Cindy, and I are the hosts and operators of Impact Arlington and Impact Waco. And our site is on team building. Now, if you work for a company or you run your own business, the idea of team building is a common management-driven initiative. In those environments, team building focuses on getting along with the people working with you at the company or in your business. As real estate investors, we often start out alone or with a single business partner. We're just out there trying to get properties under contract. Team building might not be something you're focusing on because you just want to buy some properties. Well, let's shift that thinking a little bit. In this wonderful world of real estate investing, you can't accomplish your goals and achieve success unless you have some important team members. The list can be very long, but here are just a few. Title companies, attorneys, CPAs, tax guys, private money lenders, bankers, insurance agents, general contractors, roofers, plumbers, electricians. Those are companies and individuals you need on your team. My wife and I, first time we started out in the real estate investing world, we added very important team members to our team. Those were our mentors. See, when we made the decision to jump into real estate investing, we knew we wanted to move fast and would need help doing it. Our mentors provided us with the confidence, knowledge, systems, and real estate game plans to achieve success as long as we moved at the speed of instruction. Plus, with their guidance, we have added other incredible team members who help our business run efficiently. And last month, we added another team member to our team by bringing on a new assistant, Trinity. And she's already proven herself to be invaluable. So add assistants to your team member list. It doesn't matter if you're just starting out in your real estate investing career or you have a fair amount of experience. Always be on the lookout to add team members, especially mentors. Establish a relationship, use their services, and stay connected. It might take 2, 3, or more different contractors before you start settling on your go-to people. And when you do find the right connections and you're feeling good about it, they're no longer just contractors. They're team members. They are your team members and need to be treated that way. I've said this before, and it's worth repeating. If there's a lesson to be learned here, it's this. Great teams contain great team members. So treat people the way you would like to be treated and lead with a servant's heart. Pam, that's my tip of the week.
Thank you, Tony. I appreciate that very much. So,
Thanks.
what I'd like to do is anybody else would like to at this time, any of our master trainers like to add to the tip of the week? No.
I
Okay.
think you did an excellent job.
Well, we got Renee here. Come on, Renee.
Well, I was raising my hand for Doug.
I was trying to find the mute button, but that's really what set our business on fire. So I've done hundreds of rehabs, and that's really the best thing I do. And I took the money from doing those rehabs and I invested it in a mentor, someone that could teach me how to do it. And it didn't matter if it was tax sales or sub two. Those guys held me by the hand and walked me through the difficult issues that I came across. And each time it came out flawless. Now, I've made mistakes on my own.
Right.
And that's usually what I do. I just make a mistake. I back up, I try it again. And with a mentor, it's totally different.
And it's, you have to stop and consider the fact that making mistakes is costly. And
yes,
knowing that you have a mentor to help you avoid a lot of those mistakes is great.
Well,
and I totally agree with that.
Well, where could someone find a mentor like that?
Real Impact Training.
Call us,
Come on.
email us. Yeah, come to our meetings. Yeah.
There you go.
So, and we do have a lot to offer. I feel like, we have meetings ranging from, like we said at the beginning, from Longview to Oklahoma City, to Wichita Falls, to Waco, and definitely here in the DFW area. And, it's really important that you have 3 important members on your team. The most 3 important that you can have, which is a CPA, an attorney, and a mentor to help you through those mistakes and to guide you and to keep you out of, financial trouble and out of legal trouble. So there we go, I think. Yes, Dennis.
What you said was what I was going to say, but I was going to put it in a little bit of a different order. The 3 most important people on your team are your mentor, your real estate attorney, and your CPA, in that order. But
Yes.
That's great. Glad you brought it up.
So
just so you know, Doug and I were talking about that earlier, and I got all 3 of those in the right order.
Yay.
Gold star.
You get an A+, Renee. So if you have questions, please make sure you put them in the comment center, and Karen will go through and let us know what the questions are to go through to answer those. Karen, do you see anything that we need to add to our team building?
You mean like personally or on the questions?
On the comment center.
Okay. Let's see. I've got some questions here. We've got several people on. Thank y'all, everybody, for saying hello. I do want to let everybody know that in order to have a chat box open, you do need to be subscribed to Real Impact Network. So please hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so that you get our notifications when we go live every Sunday night at 7, except for when we're on the couch with the Cowboys watching the Super Bowl next week. Roger missed his joke, so I don't know what his joke was, but he sent that in an email today. So, okay. Questions. I guess we will get started. Our first question is from Earl from Dallas. He actually called Roger last week and asked him a question about insurance. So the question is, who are you using for insurance coverage for single-family rentals in Dallas, Texas? And H.E.B, which is Homeowners Broad.
Tony, don't you have someone that you recommend for that?
Yeah, I can strongly recommend Texas Independent Insurance. I've used them for 4.5 years, just a ton of properties, rentals included. Very investor-friendly insurance company. A couple of the guys that run that are investors themselves, so they really understand what we're going through. And the contact person for Texas Independent Insurance is Ryan Middlecoff, and Ryan's phone number is 310-888-8200. 913-9526. And Earl, if you're on and you didn't get that phone number, try to reach out to me. I'm Tony Jardu out of Impact Arlington, and I'll be glad to share that information again with you.
Also, if you're not able to, if you're out of state or not in the area, one way that you can go and find insurance people to cover your property is you need to attend meetings. You need to attend our real estate investment meetings because there's usually an insurance guy at every meeting that covers that type of information. You're not going to exactly get the insurance, for rentals and fix and flips that you're thinking, like through State Farm, Allstate, all your big insurance companies. It's going to be, and you can Google it, another way of finding, different insurance companies. But your best way is to make sure you attend not only our Sunday night calls and getting the information like Tony just provided, but make sure that you go to real estate investment meetings because there are insurance people there.
Okay, CJ, if you'll put my number up there and someone wants to reach out to Tony, just give me a call and I'll give you all the information. There we go, 817-371-8658. We put that up last week and I actually got some calls and helped some people out.
There we go.
Yeah, they said they'd try to be on the call tonight. I don't know if they'll make it or not.
Well, I know that we had some repeats, and it was Ruby and her husband are on here. I wanted to say thank you for coming back to our Sunday night call. There was some, I think Steve Hall has been on here before. Like I said,
Matthew Black's
really
been on
want
here
to
before.
thank all of our repeats for coming back to our Sunday night calls. So
Absolutely,
Ruby Gonzalez.
absolutely. I got to meet Ruby and Eddie the other night, and I got to meet Matthew. So it was great to meet them in person. They knew who I was, but I didn't know who they were. So that was really neat. And so anyway, great. All right, let's move along to our next question. Sherry in Cleburne asks, how do I get started with knowing how to build a team?
Take the training. No, really? What is it? Lesson number?
It's lesson 3. Yeah. We have a whole lesson on that. So.
And we sort of covered it a second ago with who are the 3 most important people on your team. And that's number 1 is your mentor. And number 2 is your real estate attorney. And of course, number 3 is your CPA. And then beyond that, Tony mentioned several other people that we need to have on our team. So that kind of got answered, but there you are again.
If you really want to build the team, though, if you take the training, we hold you accountable. We don't just say, here's what you should do. We should go out there and do it. And then when you come back, we're going to make sure you actually did do that, which makes our training so much better than all the rest.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. You're absolutely right. And the best thing about working with your mentor and your peers that are also doing the same kind of investing that you're doing, you can go to a phone book and find a CPA. Sure. But is that CPA going to be be knowledgeable on real estate and different strategies on real estate? Are they going to know about subject to? If they don't know what subject to is, don't try to train them. Go find one that already knows, because if you're trying to train them and you don't really know what's going on, then how are you going to tell them how to do their job?
Right.
So, but anyone that we work with, they're going to be real estate investor friendly. They're going to know what they're doing, and they're going to help you instead of you trying to train them and then making mistakes.
The other thing is when you're going out there, whatever you're looking for in an attorney and to a CPA, you need to ask them the number 1 question also. Do you do investments yourself? And what kind of investments do you do? And that's especially important with attorneys that represent title companies. Not all title companies are the same. Not all attorneys are the same. And you need to know who you're dealing with. And like I said, you need to make sure that you are asking that attorney, do you do investment properties? Same thing with a CPA. Do you do, what do you know about investment properties? how can you help me when I'm doing my taxes? Because you don't want to be, paying a lot of taxes when you don't need to. So it's very important that you interview that CPA, that attorney, the bird dog, so that they can help you to improve your business.
Absolutely. We all want to be profitable, right?
Yes.
Karen, I'd like to add to the question and the answers
Sure,
on
go
this
right ahead.
question with regards to how to build a team. In addition to the top 3 that were mentioned already, it's important to go to real estate investment meetings, such as the ones that we host. When you come to an Impact Arlington meeting, you're going to find 7 sponsors there, all who are incredibly important team members on our team. And these are folks that if you're going to be an active real estate investor, you're going to need their services at some point. In addition to that, when you go to a real estate investment meeting, you're going to network with people and you're going to ask, who do you know that's a good plumber? Who do you know that's a good electrician? And you're going to start picking up names. One of the things that we did, Cindy and I did when we first went into the Waco market, we didn't know a soul. We bought some properties and then we just started interviewing contractors by getting bids. And we started to understand who we were going to work with on a longer term basis, just from continuing to get different bids from a lot of contractors. And we started to weed them out. And now today we feel very comfortable with the team that we've established down in that market. So those are some additional suggestions.
Great.
Yeah.
And if you go to the different meeting websites, I know that on mine and on the Facebook page, I have started posting who I use in my business for those. And I think, didn't that what you said, Tony? You post the same thing on your sites?
I have done some of that, yes.
Okay. Renee, Doug, have y'all started doing that on your website yet? Okay. Yes.
I don't know that we've started doing that. I have my phone is full of contractors. And so when someone asks me, I just shoot them over the contact. But we've also been using groups. So Facebook groups is a really great Facebook group in Longview. It's called All Things Longview. And people will ask, who is the best roofer here? Or who do you know that does flooring or HVAC? And I will save those posts. I'll save every one of them. And when it comes time for me to do another rehab, I call those guys and see who can give me the best deal, right? Or who can actually do the best work without having to be ramrodded. So,
hey, Doug.
Go ahead, Eric.
So along the same line, what's new in Longview, there's also the app called Nextdoor. And I have found several people through that, a chimney sweep and a window guy. So Nextdoor is also a very good, and that's not specifically any one neighborhood, but you put in your zip code or the zip code of the house you need work on, and you'll get that.
Yeah, and like, y'all were talking about, we haven't really done a whole lot of talking about Facebook, but Facebook is a great place to go and look and pick up people, because you can just put in, investor CPA, investor roofers, and you can put in real estate investment groups, and you will be surprised at what you will find. I needed an appraiser for the Justin property, and everybody was booked, and I needed one yesterday. So I went to Facebook, I typed in, searching for an appraiser, and I started making phone calls, and we got our appraisal back within a 48 turnaround. So, and I had to ask the question, are you, investor friendly? This is what I need, and, blah, blah, blah. So that, there are different people don't think about Facebook page, but Facebook is, and also LinkedIn. LinkedIn is another source to go looking for people, as well.
Yeah,
Tim
is really good too.
Hey Tim, do you have people placed on your Facebook or on your webpage?
There's some sponsors that we have for our meetings, and we have them on the Facebook page and group. And kind of like Doug, I get a lot of people asking me for specific people, specific trades, and And so then I give them the phone number
I
of
know
the
that.
references.
Yeah, I know that you put all your sponsors when they go to a meeting, when whoever goes to a meeting, you have a pamphlet that you hand out to everybody, and all your sponsors are on that. And that is, I
Yes,
know
I have
that's
a
something that
printed
I'm trying to
program
copy.
that I have
Yeah.
that I hand out. Yeah.
So very good.
Awesome. Awesome. Hey, Doug and Renee, on that note, did you guys get a hold of that surveyor that I referred you guys to?
We did. So we actually got lots of names. I started pulling surveyors from everywhere. My mom
Because
already
y'all were in a pinch,
knew
right?
somebody. I'm sorry.
Yes, we were in a pinch.
Yeah.
Y'all were in a
We
pinch
needed
and you
to
needed one quickly.
Right. We needed to find somebody who could do it that day.
Mhm.
So yeah, we found somebody.
And it works
Awesome.
great. Thanks for the reference. And
Yeah.
again, that's another way we refer to one another
Right.
In our network.
groups like this. That's
Absolutely. Right. All right. Then we'll move on to the next question. It is, what are some of your most important team members? I think we've pretty much already covered that. Did anybody want to add anybody? Bookkeepers is one that I'm thinking of that we might have forgotten. Anybody have anything else that they want to add that they feel is a really important part of their team?
Well, you were right on the bookkeeper. I have a bookkeeper that actually works in my office. He comes, he comes there every day. That's how important the bookkeeper is. But a really great team member is your assistant. I know Doug and Renee
Absolutely
had a great one. Now they're getting another one because they're spoiled. That office
True.
is going to do so much to free you up to do your real estate investing business. And other great team members are VAs, virtual assistants. Once you train them, they can do all kinds of things for you for very little money, and it helps you get a lot of things done. But there's a big list, and if you don't know, then that's an important thing to find out. Even though Tony mentioned it, how many do you remember? So the important thing about the training is it doesn't leave anything to your memory. It gives it to you and say, here's what it is now, go get them. And then when you come back, we say, who did you get?
Thank you for that,
Also,
Kenneth. Go ahead.
Also, I think another important team member to have is, a banker or someone that you can go to when you're needing money, when you're finding deals. So, and you need all different types of money people. You need hard money lenders, you need private money lenders, you need lines of credit. So that's another, someone asks, who's important on your team, especially if you're doing, and it depends on whether you're doing fix and flips, if you're doing rentals or what that is. But when you're out there competing against other people, when you're buying, trying to make, when you are making offers on properties, you need to know who you can go to get that money quickly. And I know Tim has a group to where they loan money. You have to go through an application form. Isn't that right, Tim?
Yes, we have access to some national private lenders that we can connect investors to.
So, if you're out there looking for money and, look Tim up, going through that. I know his wife, Gabi, can also help in some ways with that, as well. So again, you need to have someone, you need to have a money team member is what I'm trying to say on your team as well.
Several of them. Yeah.
Yes. The main thing I get this all the time. People ask me, they're like, well, Pam, how much should I have a line of credit? Well, maybe your line of credit's only good for 2 million and you've spent it all. What are you going to do next? So you need to have a line of credit. You need to have a hard money lender. You need to have a private money lender. You need to be able to get to people's 401. That's the reason why you also need to go to equity trust meetings. There's a lot when it comes to, finding money. And finding money, it's out there. You would be surprised at how many people are wanting to invest their money because they're tired of only making 1% and 2%.
So, IMTs, how much money is out there?
All
lot.
the money you will ever need.
There you go.
I stole Tim's line. Tim always says it. Yeah, that's a very good point, Pam. I know I was at a meeting one time, or an all-day training. I think it was actually a weekend training, and I had a deal fall through. Not, it didn't fall through. There was a delay with the money from the 401k. We had to send documents back or something. It was going to delay by 1 day, and someone that I was sitting with, as I said, I need to go take care of this. This is what's going on. And they said, oh, well, I'll loan you the money till tomorrow. And we did. They wired them. I wrote it on a piece of paper. They signed it, called the secretary. The secretary wired the funds. We got the deal closed. And the next day when our money came in, I wired the money right back to them with $1,000. Fast money. We're talking, 30-minute conversation. So always good to have your team, your network, your team. So important. Yes. All right. Moving on to the next question. What do you pay people that are on your team?
As little as possible.
Tim, would you like to take that one?
Yeah. So the great thing about building a team as a real estate investor is one of the few businesses that I know of that you can get all these people to work for you for free. And or the seller pays for it, say the real estate agent, if you're buying, the seller is going to pay their commission, not you. And like a title company, they only get paid at closing, and it's part of the cost of doing business is paying the escrow fee and paying for a title policy. And so that should be in your numbers. And so just if the offer is made right and all those numbers are calculated into the offer, then it's truly free because their pay's coming out of the deal.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Anybody have anything they want to add to that?
I have someone building my web page. I have someone that's paying my bills for me. I have someone that's putting my videos out there. I have 5 bird dogs that are finding me deals. I have someone that's writing my offers and submitting my contracts, and I'm not paying any of them. So just to let you know, it's, well, but it's a referral thing also, like with my bird dogs are my contractors. I have my top 2 bird dogs are my HVAC and my handyman. And because they find deals for me, they go and service not only my rentals, but, everybody, anybody that needs, an HVAC installed, serviced or whatever. My handyman guy, because of me, he says that he never has to advertise again. So, people don't realize that this business, real estate investment, is a relationship business. And it's very important that you develop those relationships out there. So there we go.
Great. I do need a little clarification. When you say you don't pay them anything, I think you mean you don't pay them anything. They just do it for you because they love you.
Basically, because they're getting something out of it. Like the girl that writes my contracts for me, she's thinking about getting a real estate license, and she wants to know about contracts. So she's like, hey, I'll, fill in the blanks. Now I go over them to make sure they're done right. I just don't, send them off, but I'm not having to spend my time because I'm averaging at least 3 to 5 contracts a day. I don't have time to sit down and fill out 5 contracts. So she's doing them for me. She's thinking, like I said, she's thinking about getting her real estate license, and she's wanting to know, what it's like. And like I've said, I've already explained about my handyman and, my HVAC guy. I call them on a daily basis. Hey, Josh, it's Pam. I know Pam. I have not found you a deal yet, but I'm working on it. Same thing with my handyman. The girl that wants to design my webpage for me, I'm part of the REI Black Book. I just don't have time. It's just something that she likes to do. She has nothing else to do. She knows I need help, and she's just stepping in to help me out with that. So I'm basically telling you, no, I don't pay.
Well, my first 15 years here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I never paid a legal bill. I never paid my attorney anything. I asked him whatever I wanted to. He always called me back. If he didn't answer the phone, he called me back. He did all kinds of work for me. And the only thing he got was that I closed all my deals at his title company. Now, that's a pretty big deal, not having to pay a real estate attorney. And I'm not paying my real estate attorney now. I try to pay him, but he won't let me. But he owns a title company too.
So he's making his money.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for that. Those are all good points. Our next question is from Eric. As a keep and hold strategy, is it a good idea to keep the paint and hardware and carpet and flooring the same for all my hold properties?
So repeat that one more time.
So to expand on that, I just wanted to hear it from another source. As I continue to buy and hold, why is it a good idea to keep the paint scheme and the carpet scheme and the handle on the door scheme the same as much as possible?
Doug, Renee?
Go ahead, Dennis.
No, go ahead, Doug.
Okay. Well, as a handyman, I did my first deal as a handyman, and that house and all the other houses that we ever worked on, we had the same paint, the same trim paint, the same carpet, the same linoleum. We did everything the same because I always had a gallon of that paint on me. And I remember the name of the paint. It's Sherwin-Williams Kiln Beige. Okay, yeah.
I've heard it so many times.
I have 5 gallons in my shop right now, and that's what we do. We just keep it all the same. And paint can go bad, especially if you mix it with water. But if you keep it from freezing, it stays a long time. So yeah, all that stuff.
And all that hardware, you can buy all that stuff in bulk and just keep it every time. Go ahead, Dennis.
Let me add a little bit to that. I think you'll find in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, there are homes with red brick, there's homes with brown brick, and there are homes with white brick, which kind of works its way into the chimney, into the fireplace inside. So having exactly the same color of paint may not always work. So I always had 2 colors that I kept, one for the white and brown and another one for the red. And then I could use, and I did the same with the carpet. A lot of times with carpet, you can find where some industry has taken out a lot of carpet, which is perfectly good carpet, and save that in a warehouse and do a lot of homes for that and save an awful lot of money on carpet too.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I hope that answers that question for you, Eric.
Absolutely. Just
all right.
Hear another opinion on it.
Another perspective. Great. All right. Next question. Secret is asking, she's a new investor, and she asks, how does she provide value to the mentors with little real estate knowledge and or money? Anybody have anything to add to that? Dennis?
Well, look, I can answer all these, but if
I know you can.
Nobody raised their hand. Well, okay. Tony was telling me that someone called and was asking him for advice. And he said, well, what do? You can't just give them advice all the time. And I made the suggestion, well, why not have them go out and find some deals? So the value of a new investor that wants information, wants to learn the business, give them something to do. Go find some empty houses. Go find a deal. Go find a home where all the shrubbery is grown up and there's trash in the yard and the mailbox is full. So if you give them something to do, you'll find out very quickly if they really are interested or not. Because many of those, when you tell them to do something, well, they didn't want to do anything. They just wanted to provide value because they look good, I guess.
Right. All right. Doug, did you have something to add to that?
Yeah, I had a guy call me, same sort of thing. He wanted to, I'm sure he's been listening to Rich Dad and all that stuff, but he called and said, hey, can I come and work with you? Can I just come and watch? I said, well, yeah, you can do that, but if you'll help, then I'll pay you something. And so I actually got an extra hand for less than what I normally pay an extra hand. He didn't have a lot of skills, but he saw how everything worked. And we talked throughout the day, and it was a really good relationship. And he still comes to our meetings from time to time to this day. So
good. Absolutely. It's
Karen,
about building relationships again, as Pam said, right?
Karen,
Tony, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. I'm going to address Secret her
Okay.
question in a little bit different manner. So she's asking, how do we provide value to mentors with little real estate knowledge and or money? So Secret, the situation is if you have a mentor is going to provide you with value. They're going to provide you with knowledge, the confidence to go out there and conduct your business and achieve your goals. And the way you repay them is to go do deals and prove that the training they just received was worthwhile. And you can also repay them back, your mentors, by partnering with them on deals. As Dennis alluded to, bringing deals back. Because who is the best person for you to learn from but your mentor? And so if you want to provide value, learn, do what you're supposed to do in the learning phase. Here at Real Impact, we hold you accountable. When you're one of our students, you have to do the work. And there's a level of responsibility when you sign on with us. But the payback to us and the value you bring is bring some deals back. We're going to hold your hand through that process. And you're going to learn a lot better by just doing. I hope that helps you.
I'll add to that, Tony. It's much like if you try to tell someone how to do something and they have to remember the steps and then go do them. Whereas with Real Impact, we sit down and we go through that step by step, like you just said. If they bring you a deal and say, okay, what can we do with this? Here's the situation. What do we do with it? And you can talk them through it. You can train their mind to think like us, to where when they're hearing a story, you're already thinking, what am I going to do with this deal? How am I going to close this deal? So, and it's just so much easier if you have an actual property that you can work on with your mentor and work through it and learn as you're doing that. So awesome. Thank you so much.
Hey, Karen, I'm going to add a little bit more. I'm going to add a little bit more to that also.
Okay.
So if you're not in training and you come across a deal and you don't know what to do with it, pick the phone up and call one of us. Okay.
Right.
I get
my number up there.
No, I want mine up there. My number needs to go up there. Take Dennis's off. But no, seriously, when you come across a deal and you don't know what to do with it, call one of us at Impact, training, because I guarantee you that we will let you know very quickly if we're interested in it or not. And if I'm not interested in it, I may know that Tim is going to be interested in it, or somebody. If someone calls, Tony, and it doesn't fit his criteria, he's going to say, "But I think this fits Pam's criteria." So that is the one good thing about, getting on these Sunday calls. coming to our meetings, getting to know what we're looking for, and not just us, but everybody out there. And here's the other thing is you may you come across a deal and we may have a student or something that it fits for them and everything. So everybody needs to understand you need to pick the phone up and make a phone call. And when you come across something you don't know what to do, pick the phone up, make a phone call. That's what we're here for.
So if you call the number that's there, you're going to get me. And if you're in Longview, I'm going to give you to Doug and Renee. Or if you're in Arlington, I'm going to give you the information. So I might look at the deal. I had someone call me last week that needed contact information for banks. And so he said, can I come to your office? And I said, yes. Well, it turned out I loaned him the money because he only needed it for just a couple of weeks. And no bank was going to be able to get his money to him fast enough. So, we can solve your problem. And whatever area you're in, I'll put you in touch with someone close by that can help you out.
Absolutely. Yeah. We are problem solvers. We turn problems into projects.
Right.
Dennis, I need some money.
Come to my office. We'll talk about it.
You got to have a good deal, though. Right. All right. Moving on to the next question. Steve Hall in Fort Worth is asking, hello, do you have recommendations for attorneys and CPAs? I'm in Fort Worth. I think Tony was going to answer that. Right, Tony?
Yeah. Well, Steve, we have plenty of recommendations. Dennis was talking earlier about attorneys, and we have a great attorney in Fort Worth, Martin Garcia. He's actually one of the sponsors of Impact Arlington. He and his title company, Simplified Title. And I've got a great CPA. They do my books. This is the third CPA that I've used in almost 5 years. I wasn't comfortable with our first one. My second one was based on a referral and just turned out to be a nightmare. We just weren't on the same page. And then I discovered Strata Cloud Accountants. And my main guy is Hunter Scott. And get this, Steve, I've never met him, not in person. So Dennis has a bookkeeper that comes to his office. My bookkeeper, he's a CPA. Never met him in person. It's all been through Zoom, emails, and they just do a magnificent job with my books. And this is coming from somebody who's got an accounting degree, me, and a master's degree in finance. And I don't do my own books because I want somebody else to do them. That's what they do full time. And I still think debits are on the left and credits are on the right, but I don't care because I'm a top-notch professional company that's preparing my books for me. And so if you're, right. Again, as the earlier question came about with the insurance, if you want more information, you want their numbers, reach out to the phone number that's been flashed on the screen. That'll go to Dennis and he'll reach out to me, and then I'll get in touch with you with those references.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And we really appreciate that, Tony. Okay, I hope that answered that question. And then next we have a question from Ruby and Eddie out of Tyler. And they're asking, who do you recommend to get a Heloc through? Wells Fargo, Chase, or smaller banks like Southside, local banks, or Austin Bank, or credit union? There are online companies too. So she's looking for recommendations for a Heloc. Anybody got a good answer for that?
Why do you want a Heloc? I mean, are you looking for a HELOC to pull money out of the property? I'm trying to figure out why you even want to do.
Apparently, they have a lot of equity in their home and they want to put it in investment. The best place to get your HELOC is to go to the big bank that you've been dealing with for the longest time. They'll jump all over you. They'll love to give you a HELOC. You know, most big banks don't work with real estate investors. You don't want to try to get if you go into Chase, they used to invite me every year. They invite these business people from throughout the area to come in, have a lunch, and they treat you really nice. And then they ask you what you do. And I'd say real estate investing, and I could just see their face drop because they weren't going to loan me any money for real estate investing. But they will do a loan for your personal home or a HELOC, which is another loan. It's just a second mortgage on your personal home. But the best chance you're going to have is a bank you already have a track record with. You can probably walk in the same day, come out with the money that very same day, which the HELOC's actually probably the easiest loan to get if you have a track record with the bank.
Awesome. Absolutely. That
That's Ruby's second
relationship
follow-up.
so important. I'm sorry, Pam, what?
I can't see it. Do you recommend not to do a HELOC at all? Instead, stick with the PO. So back in the day, so to answer Ruby's second question, do you recommend not to do a HELOC at all and instead stick with a personal loan to get started? Well, first of all, you don't want to really use your money, and there's many reasons why to buy properties, to rehab. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but you really shouldn't. And I'm going to use a perfect example. When I first started doing this business, I didn't have any money, but I had equity in my house, and I did what Ruby's talking about. I went and got a home equity loan, and I went and bought my first property. Well, it took me forever to do that first property, and I ended up breaking even because I was using my own money, and I wasn't worried about paying the interest, or whatever. So there's something to when you can take that money and you can do better with it by, using for lines of credit, having that money to show, a hard money lender that you have money to make monthly payments so that you can, whatever your reason is, to whether it's to buying rentals, to buying flips. But the answer to your question, Ruby, my personal opinion is yes, there are better things to do than to do a HELOC.
All
Anybody
right.
else want to add to that?
Tim, do you have anything to add?
Tony does.
Sorry,
Come on,
I
Tony.
see Tony's hand. Go
Come
ahead,
on,
Tony.
All right. I was just going to say Ruby's question needs to be fleshed out more with more facts
Okay.
to provide Ruby with an absolute answer. What do you want to use the money for? If you're going to buy a property, then use private money. When you use other people's money, you're getting the best benefits of leverage. And if you need the HELOC money for operating capital, well, maybe that's a good idea. And that just might be a good idea because that's pretty cheap money right now. And you can probably get 10-year HELOC money. And so that's a pretty good deal, especially if it's a fixed rate deal, because it's a great inflation protection. And we know inflation is beating the heck out of us right now. So it really needs to be fleshed out a little bit more, her question, and the specifics, so that it could be more appropriately answered.
Ruby, if we have enough time, we'll come back to your question. If you could just kind of tell us what you're wanting to do with the money and why you were thinking HELOC, maybe we can tailor our answer better. Okay. Thank you so much for that, guys. Okay. Our next question is, I lost my place. I know it was from Vaughn. Oh, I'm sorry. I missed one.
Okay, so hold on a second. Back to Ruby's question. She said it's to get started with buying another property. So the answer would help so much. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm guessing that
okay.
Go ahead, Dennis.
First of all, a HELOC is not your money. It's you're borrowing the money from the bank. You don't even have to borrow it. You get a HELOC. It's a line of credit. It's a home equity line of credit. You don't have to touch it. You don't even have to pay any interest on it. You don't have to do anything. It can sit there until you need it. But if you find a really good deal that you're going to lose because you're going to have to wait for a bank or a private lender or hard money, and you have a HELOC sitting there, you can write them a check. So my answer is to get the HELOC. You don't have to use it. Just get it so that when you need it, it's there.
That's a pretty good point there, Dennis. Absolutely. Never hurts to have that money available, especially if you're not paying on it until you actually use it. Great point. Okay. We're going to move on now. Why is it so important to know your criteria? Doug and Renee?
Okay, so I was just going to share a story with you guys. We bought a house in the Kilgore area a few years back and rehabbed it and put it on the market to sell it. And it sat there for several weeks and it wasn't moving. And the criteria that it was under at that point was it was a 3-bedroom, 1 bathroom. And finally, we realized there was a bonus room in the back, kind of a large closet in the back of one of the master bedrooms. And we could convert that to another bathroom because it was close to the other plumbing area. So that it was an easy conversion. And we did that very quickly. Doug put that together in a couple of 3 weeks. I mean, he's good at what he does. It was done. We popped it back on the market and it sold very, very quickly. I think within about a week and a half to 2 weeks, it was sold. So had we taken that into account on the front end when we were initially doing the rehab, and had we known to realize that a 3-2 is going to sell much better than a 3-1, then we could have saved ourselves some lost time there and some additional payments that we had to make on, electricity and various things we were having to use to do the rehab.
Yep. And the longer you hold something, the more it costs you. So
holding costs can kill you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Holding costs can kill you. All right.
Hey, Karen. Karen,
yes,
go ahead, Dennis.
Well, the main reason that you need to have criteria is because it makes you look like you know what you're doing. If you do not know your criteria, realtors will not work with you. People will not take you seriously. You don't know what you want. So go ahead and put your criteria down, check with someone that knows what they're doing and see if it fits, see if it makes sense. Sometimes one part of the criteria doesn't match with the other. You say, I want a 322 in Arlington and my price range is $50,000 to $70,000. That doesn't exist. So
that's right.
Make sure criteria kind of fits together. But once you do that, put it on a sheet of paper, print it out, and put your logo on it, hand it to a realtor, they think, well, these people know what they're doing. Maybe I should work with them. And they'll seem to feel.
Absolutely.
Also, you need to know about your talking about criteria. Like I flip houses. One thing I don't do burns. I don't do burnouts. That's one of my criteria I do not do. But do I do houses with major foundation issues? Heck yeah. For me, sometimes, that I always say the nastier, the better. And why? Because you can usually get them cheaper. And everything. Some people's other criteria is just paint, carpet, and they don't mind making, $5,000 and going down the road. So that's another different type of criteria. And you need, like Dennis said, you need to know what your criteria is so that when you're talking to people, they can, if they come across a foundation property, they're going to say, hey, Pam likes these type of deals. I'm going to give her a phone call.
Right.
So that's another different type of criteria. Karen, Vaughn Hofmeister, I don't know if I said his name correctly. I would like to answer his question for him.
Okay.
So, Vaughn, I hope you have a pencil and a piece of paper. You need to write this phone number down, 817-881-1583. That is my personal cell phone number. So
did he jump in front?
I did not want Dennis to take my deal. So,
Dennis,
so if you come across a deal and you don't know what to do, you have my phone number. Okay. Seriously, all BS aside. So I'm a female and I got into this business in around 2012 and everything. talking about, do you have to have a 620 credit score? Now, I was a real estate agent, and when the crash happened, I refused to be, I did not want to do leases. So my credit score went way down. It was not very good. But I did rehabs, and I started, rehabs. And I understand about the 620 credit score and all that. But the most important thing you can do is let people know that you are interested in learning to do, whether that's wholesaling, flipping, buying rentals, getting some education. If I know that you're really interested, I'm going to help you. I have loaned people money with a 420 credit score. Now I help them, and it was with rehab. And that's what's important. People want to know that you are willing to put the time, the effort to do this business.
Absolutely.
And how do you do that? You can take classes, and you need to show up on these, Sunday calls. You need to go to meetings. I mean, that's how you do that, besides calling my 817-881-1583 phone number.
Unless it's a burnout, and then you call me.
That's true.
I like
Okay, so for those of y'all that don't know the question was from Vaughn in Abilene. He said, "I've heard that you need that for OPM, you need to have a 620 credit score. Is that true?"
No.
Absolutely.
It is not true.
Not true.
No.
Not true. Also, where can I get a phone number to call with a deal? That's where.
I already gave it, Dennis. Stay away.
This is
And Vaughn, I'm going to tell you, you're in Abilene, so you are in military town. And let me tell you what, I went with a friend, and I almost opened up a franchise in Abilene.
Well, we've been trying to get Vaughn to open a franchise in Abilene now that you say that.
Well, yeah, there are some deals to be made in Abilene, especially, in that right, Tim, with the military people up there. Tim's in a military town. I would love to deal with the military town. Let me tell you. Move in, move out.
Say again, Dennis.
Karen will sign you up.
I will sign you up. I'll even come to Abilene on my way to my mom's in Odessa to sign you up. So, hey,
I will come help you. Someone asked, what is OPM? It's other people's money. Using other people's money, using other people's knowledge, using other people, period.
Absolutely.
But OPM is other people's money.
All right. I hope that answers your question, Vaughn. And I'm sure Roger is like chomping in the bit right now saying, call me if you have a deal, Vaughn. You can call any of us.
Well, you can call the number that they're putting on the screen. Look, I'm not looking for deals.
You're never looking for deals. All right. Last question of the night. I think I'm going to jump back over to see if we missed any, but the last question I have right here is Matthew from Tyler is asking, is it likely that a mentor would partner on a deal if one has 65% of purchase and 100% of the rehab cost at 70% of the ARV?
Likely, yeah. Yeah.
I will do that, but you need to understand that I have a process. I get asked this question all the time. And because, rehabbing houses is just like anything else. You have a plan, and you can ask my group. We use certain colors, we have certain floors, and we don't change them from house to house. I've had, people come in and say, but I want to use it. No, you don't get to use that color. You're learning how to rehab, and it's, that's what you're going to learn. But to answer the question, yes, I will do that. I do that. I don't know if anybody else in the group does that, but I do that.
Everybody in the group will do it. It's just where are you located? And then we'll pass it along to the group that's nearest
Exactly.
you. Right.
All right. Well, guys,
Question?
I'm so sorry. We are running out of time. We have like 2
Wait a
minutes
minute,
left.
Karen. I think we have 2 more quick questions.
Yeah, I was going to
I know one of them was about an LLC.
Yes, Barbara asks, hello, do you recommend using someone who could help us set up our LLC specifically for real estate investing? Or are companies like InkFile or LegalZoom okay?
No, you need to get a real estate attorney.
Get a real estate attorney.
And a CPA.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. All right. And the last one is that the one by Investing? Investing Hustler says, my name is Mookie Rogers, and I want to thank you all. Working on my first deal. I'm in Arlington. I want to thank you guys. Can't thank you guys enough for the much needed information. Let's see. Where is, Roger, I'm not, what is OPM? Okay, we got that one. And then I want to do a franchise, but don't have the money to start. Vaughn, give us a call. We'll figure it out.
Right.
Looking to do a deal, get the funds of the program. Awesome, Vaughn. That sounds like a great plan. Okay, I think that's it. Did we get everybody? Did I miss anyone? And Matthew, you snooze, you lose, I guess, right?
It's 8:00.
No.
Make sure that we get everybody's email if you can. Get us an email so that we can get you we're going to send out a list of what you need to do to help build your team.
Oh, that'd be awesome. That's a great idea. Yeah, if you guys would like to receive that, please make sure you drop your email address in the chat or contact one of us if you don't want to put it out on the web. That's fine. We understand that. You should know how to reach all of us. If you don't.
Hey, Dennis, you've got 30 seconds. Can you promote Pete for our March meeting?
Well, we've got the greatest real estate investing teacher on the face of the earth coming in March. He's going to be coming to each of the individual groups. And then on March the 12th, Pete Fortunato is going to spend the day with us. There is no one who knows more about structuring deals and not using your money, but using your brain. It may be your last chance. I had to beg him to come because he's really retired, but I've known him for a long time. We're good friends. He said he would do it for us. And you really need to come to that. Mark your calendar, March the 12th. We'll send out a lot of information about it. It'd be hard for us to miss you. So be sure to sign up and come. You will absolutely love Pete Fortunato. I guarantee it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can find us on MeetUp. You can find us on Facebook. Search up Real Impact and then or give Dennis a call. And we are in all these locations. I believe we're in 12 locations and we are expanding. So, all right, guys, we will not be here next Sunday because it will be Super Bowl, but it will be the next week. Right, Pam?
Yes. It will be Super Bowl weekend. I've got my squares. Do you have your squares?
I do not have my squares. So we'll see you guys in 2 weeks, unless we see you at one of our local events. Before that, we'll be in Longview Monday night and
817-881-1583. There's the phone number. Make sure you get that down.
I love you guys. Such a happy family.
Have a good evening.
So
Thank
being
you.
on.
Good night.
Bye, guys.
Night.